Hey, Mistral and I are back with our manifestation series. All month long, every Monday in May, we're going to be live 2:30 Eastern time to talk about an aspect of manifestation when it comes to human design. So today we are talking about energy types. With the five energy types, we're going to look at aligning with your signature theme. The way that I have seen manifesting generators just create their reality quite literally overnight is pretty wild.
It is pretty wild. And yes, you're right. I can manifest all kinds of different things at different times and when I need them. And there's a lot of layers that we have to shed to manifest what we actually desire, right? It's not just about like dreaming about this magical life that you're going to have and then you get it. There's a lot of shadow work, stepping into like your actual aligned energy, really owning the powerful person that you are and the gifts that you bring and why, of course, you deserve the manifestation itself, right?
Yeah, gosh, and it just makes me think of like this year. It's the year of the snake. We all need to shed that snakeskin layer. Pluto just went retrograde yesterday. We really need to look back on how we've grown and the deaths, like our own deaths that have happened and also need to happen so that we can manifest and create the abundance and really anything and everything that we could want.
That's right. That's right. And, one of the things we were talking about before we hopped on this live today, Jen, was we were talking about how everything in the planet is energy, right? We are energy, the trees, the grass, the ground, everything is energy, right? And for many of us, we feel that grounding connectedness when we are in that same energy that we're matching, right? For me, it's that real love for the ocean and being in the water, right? For other people, it's the mountains or the forest. It's that thing that kind of just really helps us align and feel like everything is just going to be great and fine no matter what happens, right?
Yeah, and
And
that's
so
usually when we're in our signature theme, right? That we'll
that's
get into.
right. That's right. And no, I lost my train of thought where I was
I
going with
know.
that,
I'm
but I was right.
sorry. Sorry, I was
That's
just so
okay.
excited.
Should we just segue into that now, or do you
I guess so. Yeah, when you find your connection, when you know your human design, which if you are new to human design, go grab your free
Mhm.
human design chart online, find out your energy type. There are five different types. And look at the not self, which is those shadows, which is what's holding you back. Right. We'll go into the not self and the signature. And then look at that signatures theme, that self theme. That is what when you put yourself into that vibration, that's where you can easily manifest. And remember, there are going to be what, 4 or 5 parts to this series. So we're
That's
going
right.
to start really small with the energy types, really small, and then build on it each week. So by June time, which will be another great time to manifest, you'll have all of the energetics in place.
Amazing. Yeah. And I think with our energy types, when we talk about these energy types, is when we've been conditioned, right, over the years. And Jen, you speak so eloquently to this all the time about the layers that we have to ditch in order to actually really step into who we are in that energetic blueprint. So it's not easy work, right? I want to acknowledge that when we're doing this work, it's not easy work. And sometimes it can feel really frustrating when people are like, oh, I can manifest this and I can manifest that and create this. And can you really create your reality? And the truth is, yes, but it's how much will you believe in it and then do the actual work to shed the limiting beliefs that allow you to step into that.
Oh, what a lesson in trust. And all weeks, month, it has just been how much can you trust? How much can you let go and trust that it will all work out for you? And what helps is aligning with your energy type, that self and not self theme, that signature theme that is your highest vibration that lets you manifest things, and that not self theme, that shadow that pulls you back. It's our pure manifestors, only 8% of the world. So it's a rare population that works in a really powerful way. Do you want to say
Yes.
anything about manifestors?
The manifestors, when they really step into their power, they are the true fire starter, the people that initiate and create within this world. But only when they do it in alignment with their authority and their strategy that aligns with their energy. But that fire starter is their purpose, right? What keeps them engaged and excited for what they're creating.
Yeah. And when they're out of alignment, that not self for them is anger. So they can get really angry, but it's important for them to get angry so that they can find peace, which is that signature theme. So when they're in a state of peace, when they're allowing their aura to do the work for them and lead them to initiate, when they're practicing their strategy of informing, of letting people know who need to know, staying in that peace and really bringing that peace into what they're manifesting, that's where the magic happens.
Yeah, I agree. Beautiful. Do you want to keep going with the non-sacrals?
Sure, let's do reflectors next.
Okay.
Talk about rare types, right? Only 1% of the world. Anything you want to say about
Just
reflectors manifesting?
reflectors really being like our beautiful mirror back to society. And so they really work on that lunar schedule of the 28 days. And so kind of really taking all that energy in and reflecting it back on us to almost give us a like, where are we at? What are we missing? What are we seeing in ourselves right now? And that's a beautiful power to recognize.
Yeah, and that not self is disappointment. And I see a lot of reflectors getting stuck in this shadow because they are comparing themselves to others, right? Especially if reflectors who work on a lunar cycle, right? 28 days. If they are looking at manifesting generators who can make something happen overnight, they're going to get really bogged down. They're going to be disappointed. They're going to have these heavy expectations that are going to hold them back from manifesting. Whereas when they can trust and just let go of it, that's where surprise and delight comes in. Like I have just seen reflectors in their beautiful alignment of like, oh my God, it happened. Oh my gosh, I manifested this. This came, you know. So it's just so beautiful to get to see them in that signature theme because they really do work so differently, but it's when they're surprised, when they're delighted. Again, once they've trusted that those manifestations get to happen.
Yeah. And this is like that reminder of like you have to follow those pieces that light you up and that feel good because it is hard when you're judging yourself against somebody else who's a completely different energy type and therefore shows up in a totally different way.
Yeah. And as a conscious reflector and emotional authority, the patience is so difficult because I want shit now, but I can't. And the more that I want it and the more that I push for it, the more bitter I get as a projector, not self theme, that my manifestations can't come. And I don't get to find that success, my signature theme, because I'm so bogged down with it. So let's move on to projectors. So what would you like to say about projectors, right? We're somewhat more common, you know, over 20% now. So yeah, there's a lot of projectors, the seers and guides out there.
There are. And what's so beautiful about them is when they are in their passion of sharing in whichever way that that is, and their voice is being received and recognized, you can just see the light shining so incredibly bright, just like the lighthouse, right? That guides others onto the right path. And so it's so beautiful to see them in that power of waiting for the recognition and then receiving that in a way that allows them to continue to shine super bright into the world because we need that. We need
Right.
that directed energy.
Yeah. And I feel like you really get to witness me shining because you give me the recognition. I just get so lit up. I feel in my signature theme of success,
Yeah.
right? I feel really successful. And that's why Mistral and I do so many things together because our energy clearly just works so well. But when I get lit up and am in that energy, that's where manifestation starts to happen. That's where I'm able to let go and trust that stuff is going to come. What is meant for me will come. And it starts dropping into my reality. I start to see little synchronicities, pieces, and then, you know, see the big manifestation. But it is, especially in this conditioned society, it can be a really big challenge to stay in that vibration of success and not get pulled down into the bitterness that we can really easily be consumed by. So make sure that you have people in your life that recognize you, that help you feel successful. Recognize yourself, because it really has to come from yourself first, so that you can find ways to stay in that successful vibration.
Yeah. Oh, love that. Very powerful.
Yeah.
So I guess we'll move on to the sacrals, which are manifesting generators and generators. And so, as a manifesting generator myself, I know for me, the energy type is like, it's powerful, right? We're kind of chaotic. We're kind of a hot mess. We show up with 10 things on our mind all at once. But this energy is so powerful that when we are actually have it aligned in a way that works well for what we're creating and bringing into the world, it can be super magnetic in a way as well. And so knowing as a manifesting generator how to tap into that part of the energy and go with that flow, depending on all the other parts of your chart, it really allows that magnetic to turn on. And then because you're feeling so excited and joyful, it feels that you're really just able to like that satisfaction of just like moving forward quickly.
Yeah, and there's definitely an aspect of knowing what satisfaction feels for you. With
Right.
sacrals, it can be really easy to bypass what satisfaction feels like, because you can really get stuck in the shadow, in the not self of frustration, right? You know what frustrates you, but do you know what really satisfies you? And are you choosing satisfaction over frustration? Because there's always another way of going about that. So, yeah, manifesting generators. I mean, you have the generator aura of just attracting things to you. Like energy is just constantly coming to you. And then you have that manifestor quality of initiating. Like, yeah, that is why you guys are so magical. And I just know so many manifesting generators, when they are in that satisfaction, when they are in alignment, they're like, I want to create this. And the next time I talk to them, I'm like, oh, so did you create it? And they're like, oh yeah, I'm way beyond that. Like I'm 5 steps ahead now. Like, yeah.
Yep. And it feels very unnatural when anything goes slow. It's like, come on, let's go. Where is this? Which is a part of where manifestation can be really challenging for manifesting generators because we want things quickly. And it comes back to matching that energy, right? What are we still holding on to that we've been conditioned to believe in that we haven't like stepped outside of our box with? Especially as a manifesting generator, we tend to get boxed in our youth and feel that real need to bust out at some stage, hopefully sooner than later.
Yeah, and I feel like a lot of manifesting generators too are like, I move too fast. I need to slow down. And while that may be true, right? It's really everyone is so unique, and you may be a manifester that actually does work slowly. I do know a lot of manifesting generators like that. And it's not slowly, it's just softer, I guess I'll say. But the
Mm.
majority of manifesting generators, like you do need to break out of that box. You need to go full steam ahead, because that's how you'll feel satisfied and manifest. Pure generators are different from manifesting generators because they don't have that initiation, which really can be interesting for them. They can be pretty conditioned too.
Yeah. Well, because we grew up in a society where you're always meant to initiate and create things and climb to the next level and constantly sort of achieve. Whereas a generator does achieve and does find that joy and that satisfaction when they are really honed into and doing what they love, and that might be in HR or that might be as a teacher or that might be, as an outdoor adventurer. It doesn't really matter what it is, but that being in that energy and being in that joy and satisfaction, I mean, that's what makes them magnetic and attracts exactly what they want so that they don't have to initiate and things just come to them because they're not meant to initiate.
Yeah, so I think the key for generators is really just doing what lights you up, doing what brings you satisfaction, and in many ways, like fuck everything else, because it doesn't matter. It's really about what lights you up. And if that lights you up, then you go do that. If that brings you satisfaction, and it's through that that you'll manifest that, yeah, those things will just come to you because of your beautiful um, generator aura.
Yes, absolutely. And, the one thing about these auras that we've been talking about is that all of them have the common theme of like really stepping into the power that you are and using the practices that support you to get in there, because that's what makes you magnetic, regardless of your energy type, right? Is being in it and aligning with it for yourself and seeing what that feels like to actually understand that in your body.